Growing up, the only thing I had in my name was some holes in my pants. The reason for this was because I'm 7 of 8 siblings. My father was the only one working because my mom had to stay home and she had to watch all 8 of us. So the problem was we were living in Miami and we couldn't afford to stay in Miami and have the finer things growing up. So I remember going to school. I remember one day I was in the 3rd grade and in the crotch area of my pants, my mom tried her best to sew it up. It was khaki pants, but the funny thing was the sewing thread was green, so you can see the sewing thread and everything. But so I remember sitting down in class and everything like that in the crotch area. I remember just popping, but mind you, I didn't know that it ripped. So I'm just sitting there and everything, and back in the day how the chairs were, they had them like 2 across from each other, which means that my classmates could look down and see, oh wow, his stuff is poking out. So yeah, so I had my stuff just hang out there and just, and then they just laughed at me, and then had laughing at me. Imagine 3rd grade, oh, private part, ha ha ha. So I had to go through all that. Not to mention that, that we were staying in a motel at the time. Staying in a motel for like 3 years. Imagine 8 kids, 2 parents in a motel. Just imagine that. One bed. So some nights you may get stepped on, some nights you may not. But at the end of the day, my release was going to school. Going to school was my release. And it's crazy because that's when I got picked on for my stuttering, for my holes in my pants, sometimes dirty clothes. I didn't know any better. But I got picked on. But that was my sanctuary. My sanctuary was going to school to get away from all the craziness. So my thing was to just graduate. I just wanted to graduate. After I finished graduating, I'm like, okay, this is good. Wanted to go to college, but 18, mom and dad said, guess what? You either pay half of the rent, and Miami is high, rent is high. Pay half of the rent, or you get out of my house. That's it. So I had to stop everything. I can't go to school. I got to get a job. I work and I work and I work. Pay half of the rent, half of the rent, half of the rent. Come to find out that I'm working for $8 an hour, and I'm like, I'm doing something, but I'm not doing anything. So at the end of the day, I kept pushing. I kept pushing, kept pushing, kept pushing. So my message to people out there who are going through the same thing, grew up in poverty, grew up, having troubles in their lives. My message to you is keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward because your future depends on it. Your future depends on you pushing forward. Just like me, my future depended on that. Now I have 2 daughters, and now they don't have to go through the things that I had to go through. They don't have to go through school having people pick on them because they got holes in their pants with green thread and khaki pants. They don't have to go through that. But the reason why is because I kept pushing. I kept pushing. I kept pushing. I didn't stop. No matter what. And sure, some days I wanted to give up. But I just didn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it to myself. I tried giving up, but I couldn't do it. I had to keep pushing. I keep pushing, keep pushing. So all y'all who's struggling out there, just keep pushing. Keep going forward, man. Just don't stop. Don't stop, man. That's one thing I'll tell you. Don't stop. Your future depends on it. Your children depends on it. So at the end of the day, y'all just keep fighting, man. Like, people don't know my story. People don't know the things I had to go through. People don't know it. Like you'll never know. The kids I went to school with, like when I put a video up, basically they're gonna know. They probably gonna know. Like, dang, he was going through that. Yeah, I was going through all that. Yeah, I had thoughts. I had some nasty thoughts too, but I had some bad thoughts in my head. Like I want to give up, growing up, teenager. But I kept pushing, man. So my message out to y'all: just keep pushing, keep fighting, man. Like, cause your future depends on it. Your family depends on it. Your future wife and future husband depends on it. Your future children depends on it. Kids out there, y'all keep fighting, man. Don't give up.